Hello everyone, and welcome to the Brickformula reveal of LEGO Set 7877 Naboo Starfighter. It has 318 pieces for ages 7 to 14, and it's from the Star Wars series, and this set retails for $49.99. And before I continue, I would like to give a shout out to 3D097 and MagnaGuard27. They are the subscribers who had requested that I review this set, so everyone check out their channels. And moving forward, here in the front we see a scene from episode 1 of the Star Wars films, and that's pretty cool. On the side here we have the minifigures, more on that later. And here in the back we can see that Anakin is trying to get away, and he's just going to ditch that Naboo pilot over there, which is not very nice. And also, we also see some playable features over here, and I'll talk about this set in more detail coming up. Here are the minifigures, and first up is a new security battle droid. He looks just like the one from the 2002 Jedi Defense 2 set, but if you look closely at the chest there, we have some minor details there, and that's what makes him different from the battle droid in that set, along with the straight arm over here that holds the gun. Here's the back, and we have some details there on the head, and we get another one that looks just like him, and he's going Roger Roger, and you can Roger that. I gotta say, it's a lot of fun to flick them because they fly so far away. But don't get me wrong, I love battle droids. They're very humorous in the Clone Wars series. But anyway, here's Anakin, and he's the same exact one that you get from the Anakin and Sebulba Pod Racer set. And here are the details on the back, and that also means that we get the goggles there on the alternate face, which is not really accurate because he didn't have those on here during this scene. But anyway, we also get this translucent piece to hold the helmet. That's how it attaches to his hands there. And here's what it looks like with the helmet on. See? And there we go. Next, we have R2-D2, and here he is with the details there. And he's got a gray piece for the head, which is not new. We've seen that before, such as the Tentive 4 set or the Death Star, among other ones. But in the previous set, he was in all white. See? And there's a comparison. Here are the details on the back. And there we go. And finally, we have the Naboo Starfighter pilot. And this one's a lot more accurate too, because this one's in all red. The previous one was in a tan color, and that does not look like a Naboo pilot to me. And there's no details on the back. No alternate face, but here's a closer look at his expression. Pretty serious looking. And now let's take a look at the rest of the set. For starters, you get to build this maintenance cart here, and it's a very simple one in design too. There's the top, there's the side, and there's the bottom. It just glides along the surface over here. On the tail here we have what looks like a reload of proton torpedoes. You could use it as a flick fire missile, although honestly I don't think it would make sense. In the center here we have a step ladder so you can get into the Starfighter, and on the front here is where you can drive the thing, and this is where we can put the pilot, and there we go. And we get some tools there to go into that box. We get a wrench, which is a necessity, and a hammer, so that in case you can't fix it, then you can vent your frustration by banging with it. Alright, and there we go. Next, let's take a look at the Droideka. You ever notice that they build these things differently almost every time they introduce these in a set? And here's what it looks like from the front. There's the side, there's the top, and there's the bottom. And here's the back. I think they almost got it right this time around, because these things are supposed to roll up and just roll all over the place, okay? And they almost got it, okay? Because you can bring this down like this. You can bring the legs in, even though they are supposed to go the other way. And this time you actually push the arms inward. They don't have this in the instruction book, but I figured I'd give it a shot just to see if it can actually roll around. And I almost hate to say the head is pretty loose the way it's attached over here, but it's pretty close, right? It's almost like a ball, and you can probably roll it like this, but it's close. Better luck next time. I guess we'll see another different version of this in another set in the future. But anyway, let's take a look at the Starfighter. Finally, here's the main attraction, the Naboo Starfighter, and here's what it looks like from the side. It's relatively flat, and here's the top. Pretty nice. Here is the front, here's the back, and here is the bottom. And I guess I'll start here since I'm already over here. This little empty hole here is where it attaches to the stand here, okay? And this is a really weird stand. This thing can rotate a full 360 degrees. I'm not really happy with it, but it's okay, I guess. And over here, unlike the previous model, we now have flick fire missiles, which you can press over here to fire them. And you can fire both. There you go, and they shoot real fast. And down here is probably the most trivial part of the ship. I'm not really happy about this part, and I'm pretty sure R2 doesn't like it either, because It's really just a long stick that goes up R2's you know what. And here's how it works. Okay, you attach R2 in there like that, and you just push that up and that'll eject them. And I tell you, that's a very sad way to get ejected, or more like injected. Alright, so I don't really like that part. I like the old one better. And over here is where we can put the pilot, and unlike the old one, this one can open up like that. And inside, as you can see, there are no studs. It's a pretty flat surface over there. And you can put the Naboo pilot like that, and that's how he goes, but he's a little bit loose. And if you want to put Anakin inside, you'll have to put him in a somewhat of a slant with his feet forward, and then you can close him like that. Okay? And overall, it's an okay ship. If you have the old one, there's really no need to get this one. And I'll explain that in the recommendations later on. Alright, and there we go. Okay, that's just about it for the playable features. And now to talk about the recommendations. Overall, I'd say that this is an okay set. Not that great. Starting with the value, we're talking about 318 pieces for $50, and that comes out to about 15.7 cents a piece, which is not that good. And even though we get some newly redesigned minifigures over here, it's still not worth the while to get this set. And when you look at the playabilities, it's not that great either. It's really the same thing as the previous one, except that we have a new way to shaft R2-D2. So unless you're sadistic or you got a thing for droids, then it's definitely a set that you can shy away from. Unless, of course, you do like that sort of thing. You even get a pair of handcuffs to mix it up a bit. But anyway, if you do have the old one, then you definitely don't need to get this set, because it's really the same thing, just slightly redesigned a little bit. Alright, when you make a quick comparison, oh, and please excuse the missing parts over here. I used them for a mock and I have no idea what happened to them. But anyway, on the new one, the front here is raised up by an extra plate. The cockpits are different. A new way to get rid of R2-D2. And this time around we have flick fire missiles. Over here we have that trigger missile over there. But otherwise you're not really missing anything. And the old one was $30 and it came with a Vulture droid, which is a lot more fun. This one, I can't really say the same. And that's it. In the end, I think it's only worthwhile to get this set after it's on a 30% discount. And since these are mostly available at Target, that is quite possible because Lego sets do go at a pretty good discount over there. And that's it. That sums up my review. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.